Good morning. Having a few issues here today with internet connections, trying to find a quiet place. There's people working across the road on their house with a lot of grinding going on. There's workmen working in our house. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I'm out here in a little corner beside the pool. So, and hopefully we're going to keep enough internet connection because I'm a fair way from my router as well. So, but that's okay. That's what doing live videos is all about. It's about just dealing with what happens. Oh yeah, and the sun's right in my eyes, which is why my glasses have gone really, really dark. But that's okay. Good morning. How are you this morning? We're up to day 3 of our Thrive in Menopause experience. And for those of you who are just catching up on the videos, I can see there's someone live on the video now. Just say hi. Say hi into the comments just so that I know that you're here. And those of you who are watching the recordings, I'll just give a little bit of an update of where we're up to right now. So we started the week on Monday where I explained a little bit about the different hormones and basically the dance that's happening with all the different hormones as we get into this new stage of life. And really it's very similar to the dance that happens when we very first get our periods when we're in our early teens. It's just it's happening at the other end. Hi Susan, how are you? So yes, so it's a similar type of dance, but it's happening in the opposite direction. And now we've got a lot more emotional stuff. We've got many women are virtually exhausted by the time they've got to this stage of life because they've been giving so much of themselves for so many years that by the time they reach this perimenopause and menopause stage of life, they've got nothing left to give, and it's now time for them to start looking at themselves. So we spoke a little bit about that. Yesterday I shared the role that the adrenal glands and the liver plays in many of the symptoms that many women experience. And today I'm going to give you some natural remedies that you can use. But before I do that, I just want to just take a little bit of a step back, because quite often what we spend a lot of time doing is trying to resolve a symptom. And that's okay because we don't like to feel uncomfortable. But maybe it's time for us to start re-looking at the way we look at so-called symptoms. And within the medical model, we've been taught that symptoms are bad, that if you have a cold and your nose is running, that's bad, you've got to stop the nose from running. I'm great, Susan, how are you? So we've been taught that we have to get rid of symptoms, that symptoms are bad. But what if we did a little bit of a reframe or a switch on that? Because really, symptoms aren't bad. Symptoms are signs from your body. It's the only way that your body can talk to you and tell you that things aren't going the way it's supposed to, that your body is not in optimal health. So rather than trying to get rid of symptoms, symptoms are a time for us to stop. And particularly, I think, at this stage of life, if you're experiencing a lot of symptoms as you're coming into your menopause stage of life, it's time to stop and find out what it is your body's got to say to you. What have you been doing for the last, 30 odd years that your body's just been coping with and would now like some attention on? And sometimes that's physical that we need to be looking at. As I said the last couple of days, supporting the adrenal glands, supporting the liver. Quite often it's emotional. So when our body is holding a whole pile of emotions, it will actually show that in symptoms. It's the way as I said, this is the language of our body. And there's many books where you can find a little bit more about this. And this is a lot of the work that I do with women, is really tapping into what's going on with the emotions and how that's expressing in a physical way. Because if you continue to ignore the signs and symptoms that your body is giving you, what happens is they get worse and worse, and that's where we get into chronic disease, and we don't want that. So yes, it's great to make life a little bit more comfortable using herbs or nutrients or whatever to dampen down the symptoms, but I truly want you to really start looking at what the underlying cause of this, of what's really causing what's going on. Have I got there? Sorry, I can't really see, Rel. Hi, Rel, how are you? But it's about really getting to that underlying cause, and that's why I created the Embrace program, because the Embrace program is about embracing yourself on the physical level, on the emotional, and on that spiritual connection level. And I'll talk a little bit more about embrace as we go through the next couple of days. But I just really want you to start to go inside and ask your body, what is it trying to tell you when it has these symptoms? So moving on into how can we look at what some of these symptoms are. Now, I've got a few notes that I'm just going to go make sure that I've got everything covered off. So one of the primary symptom that occurs with women at this stage of life is hot flushes and night sweats. We all know about that, and I know that when I studied to be a naturopath, that's the main thing they taught us how to deal with is hot flushes, night sweats, because that's kind of what women are known for. And I know there have been times where I've basically been dripping with sweat. With it, I can remember once when I was running a weekend retreat, and when I run my retreats and when I speak, I kind of put my all in. And whilst I enjoy it, in a way, it's a little bit stressful to my body. And I can remember sitting back as I just kind of walked off the stage and just had a bit of a break, and I just broke out in complete sweat, and I just so much heat going on because my body was just expressing that to me to let that go. I can see Gabrielle's joined us. Hi, Gabrielle. How are you? But yeah, so hot sweats is a big one. So one of the, there's a couple of things. So number one, if you know that you're prone to hot sweats, it's not so much of an issue in wintertime because hot sweats are great. They keep you warm. But in summertime, and as we're getting into the warmer weather here in Australia, and I know in Queensland, I'm a Queenslander, I don't think you ever get cold weather. And I'm really looking forward to moving back up to Queensland where it's warm all the time. But yeah, wear loose, light clothing so that it's not really restrictive because that can overheat your body. When you go to bed at night, don't rug up too much. Now, this is my thing. I love to snuggle and I love to rug up, and I wear really, really warm clothes, even in summertime. But try not to rug up too much if you're prone to night sweats. And as I spoke yesterday, hot flushing and sweats will always happen when there's a lot more stress. So when you're overdoing it during the daytime, when there's a lot of stress going on in your life, you'll find that they will be worse. So it's really about, as I said, addressing the underlying cause of what is going on. Now, a really, really simple home remedy that you can use for hot sweat is sage. Sage tea is fantastic for hot sweats, for stopping, because sage basically starts to dry up excess fluid. But you do have to be careful that you can't be on sage forever, you can't be on sage for long term because it's going to actually impact the way that your body works. So, because we do want our body to be able to sweat, we don't want it to stop sweating altogether. So it's only a short-term remedy. And there are other herbs, and if you see a naturopath or you work with us within the Embrace program, we've got a naturopath on board, you can actually get a personalised herb mix which will help you manage those sweats and all the other different symptoms that are coming along. Now, when it comes to diet, just make sure you're avoiding the hot, spicy foods, the foods that heat you up from the inside, because that can trigger a hot sweat. Also, really hot drinks and foods that can also do that as well. Now, I know some of you aren't going to like this. Coffee. Now, coffee is not only a hot drink, but coffee is an adrenal stimulant. So coffee basically stimulates the adrenal glands to release more cortisol. And if you're already stressed and you've already got too much cortisol going on, then coffee's not the best thing for you. So yes, you could go to iced coffee, but it's the caffeine that's the issue. Swapping over to some teas, so some herb teas or some teas, and as we're coming into summer, having them as iced teas, that you can get some beautiful teas and herb teas that make a lovely iced tea. That's always good. So yeah, coffee, unfortunately, if you're already stressed, is actually going to stress you more. Foods which are really great are foods that we call phytoestrogen foods. Now, soy is a phytoestrogen food, but we do have to be very careful about the origin of soy. So organic soy in its original form, which is beans, and then looking at things like fermented soy, which is tempeh as well. What else have I got on my list here? I've got so many things. Flaxseed is also another phytoestrogen, so getting flaxseed into your diet, or linseed. So flaxseed and linseed are the same thing. One's so we have flaxseed oil, we have linseeds, other seeds. So they're really great to actually help to increase estrogen just a little bit, so that you're not getting quite a drop. Garlic, chickpeas, pumpkin kernels, so the green pumpkin kernels, and mung beans. They're all really great foods that are great for just lifting up estrogen just slightly. We don't want to push it all the way up, we just want to slightly lift it. Now, another symptom is poor sleep. Now, I spoke a bit about poor sleep yesterday, because it's really important that we get good sleep, but there's really dark clouds. I've got to do this before it starts. Hopefully it's not going to rain while I'm out here. This is the issue, isn't it? Go inside and it's noisy. Come in here, I could get wet. It's all right, let's just keep talking. So sleep, we need to get more sleep. So really some simple things that you can do are making sure you've got all your devices out of your room. The Wi-Fi devices actually disturb your sleep. Getting into some really good sleep habits before you go to sleep. So getting out away from blocks of blue lights, which is all your screens. Turn the lights down in your house. So you've got dim lights, getting into a ritual of, say, journaling, a nice sleepy time tea or something like that, so you're actually getting into the ritual of sleeping. Sleep is such a big topic, and it's a major topic that we cover within the Embrace program, because there's so much stuff when it comes to sleep, because most people don't sleep properly. So, but some really good things that can help you sleep, as I said, sleepy time tea, which you can get from the supermarket. Lavender oil is also really good to help you calm down. So just having a hot bath with some lavender oil in it. Even some Epsom salts. So Epsom salts is magnesium. Magnesium is also really good for helping you sleep as well. Many people who are highly stressed are low in magnesium. So magnesium, lavender are really great natural remedies that you can do to help you sleep. Now, what else have I got on here? Let me just talk a little bit about vaginal dryness, and not just the vaginal dryness, but general dryness of the skin, because as we age, our skin, as estrogen level comes down, our skin starts to dry out and we lose some elasticity, and some women do have issues with vaginal dryness, which affects their ability to have a healthy sex life and all of that. Now, actually, I'm just going to let you know that yesterday I spoke to a yoni coach she's actually written a couple of articles in the Marga Woman magazine, and she's just agreed to come on board in the Embrace program. So we're working on that. So we'll actually have a yoni coach, and she uses yoni eggs as a really great way to get really great vaginal health, nice strong pelvic floor. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that after I've had a chat with her later today. So, but yes, I'm really excited about that she's come on board. So it is the decrease in estrogen that leads to this vaginal dryness. So there's a few things we can do. You can use a lubricant, but be careful of the type of lubricants that you use. Now, coconut oil is great. There's a lubricant called Silk, which is made from kiwi fruit, and it's an all-natural one. Don't use the KYs and all that are petroleum-based. We really don't want that inside you. We want natural stuff. So coconut oil or Silk is a really good one. Also, if you're noticing that the dryness is affecting you, some women it's so dry that it actually makes it hard for them to walk. So you can do a mix of vitamin E cream and some calendula oil and olive oil, and basically just apply that internally a couple of times a day. And you can use that within your vagina. You can use that on your skin as well. So because it's really good for just putting some of the elasticity and tightening up all the tissue and basically rehydrating it. Water, you need to making sure you're drinking lots and lots of water. Coconut oil on your skin as well will also work. Now, some of the herbs, we've got black cohosh, red clover, wild yam. I've mentioned calendula, ginseng, American ginseng, and licorice. They're all great herbs that help tissue integrity. Now, when you work with our naturopath, that she will actually put together a herb mix for you, or a cream. She'll actually create that for you if that's something that you need. So many of the over-the-counter products include those type of herbs. I've really got to race through this because I think I'm about to get rained on. Hey Justine, how are you? Memory problems. Now this is another thing. Remembering things, and a lot of this comes once again from being stressed and having so much going on, but it can also be related to a change in hormones. And I'm actually going to cover this a little bit more, this and the next topic, depression and anxiety in tomorrow's video. So I'm not going to go into it too much, very, very quickly. And sorry I'm talking really fast, but I just don't want to get rained on. I'm outside and there's a big rain cloud coming on. So number one thing when it comes to memory is making sure you get a good night's sleep, because that will help you so much, and bringing the stress down helps you get a good night's sleep. It also helps you remember, and use things like to-do lists, memory joggers, whatever it is, alarms within your phone. It's okay to use that. Journaling is one of my lifesavers. Is that when my head is so full of all of this, everything that's got to be done, when I journal, I can get rid of the clutter, and then I can remember the things I really need to remember. Some great herbs are ginkgo and bacopa. They work really, really well together. But and if you do happen to get a product that got them in it, I just warn you that it takes about 2 weeks for it to start to work. And one of the problems is, I actually have my kids on it at the moment to help them with their all their exams, and that is it takes about 2 weeks, as I said, to work. But you've got to remember to take it. And sometimes when you've got a problem with your memory, it's hard to remember to take it every day for 2 weeks before it starts to work. But once it starts to work, it's marvelous. So yeah, you just got to remember to take it. Rosemary oil as an essential oil is also really, really great for memory. And rosemary, the herb, so cooking with that in your cooking as well. But as an oil, it's really good. So it's a really great trigger. If you've got things to remember, put it on a diffuser. And this is what I do with my kids, is when they're studying, I put the rosemary oil in the diffuser so that they're studying to rosemary oil, and then when they go to school, give them a couple of drops on a tissue that they can just put inside their shirt, so they get that anchor. Make sure that you get lots and lots of, hi Susan, how are you? Lots of drinking, once again, lots of water. Water's always the base for all of this when it comes to diet, and eating a really great diet full of whole food recipes. And as I said, really looking at the emotional stuff, but I'll go a lot more into emotions tomorrow, because emotions affect a lot of things, not just, anxiety and depression can come to the fore at this time of life. The emotional roller coaster that we can go on, the memory loss, all of that, and a lot of it comes down to our belief systems around what menopause is about, what aging is about. So I'll go into that in a lot deeper tomorrow. So I'm really sorry that I've kind of rushed all through all that. I think I've kind of gone through most of my notes there. I think so, yes. If you've got any questions, pop them into the feed right now, and I'll answer them for you, just as I finish up, because I'm actually starting to get rained on. But going back to where I started, when we've got physical symptoms going on, it's great to use something to get through now, but it's so important that we work out exactly what is going on. Why do we have these symptoms? Why are things not working? Why has our body not naturally balanced the hormones, which is what it's supposed to do? It's talking to you and it's telling you something. It's telling you that maybe you need a little bit more liver support. It's telling you maybe you need a little bit more sleep. It's telling you maybe, some of that trauma that's been going on in your life you need to deal with, because you can't keep burying it. All of these symptoms are messages. They're messages from your body. And and I just really want to tell you that from the bottom of my heart. And it's time to embrace it all. Embrace it from a physical, emotional, and a spiritual level, because when you do that, you step into what I call your Marga stage of life. Marga is your absolute magnificence. It is your wise woman. And that's what you were designed to be. Your body was designed to actually thrive at this time of life. It wasn't designed to shrivel up and, just barely survive. We've got, a good 40, if not more years to go We don't want to live a life where we're just barely surviving, where we're managing on medications and we've got, you know, we're just basically dying from the inside out, or the outside in more than likely. This is a time to thrive. We've got so much to offer and to go out to the world and, I don't know, just really make a difference. This is our time to live, to grab everything and to really live our lives. We know we've given everything to everyone for so many years now. It's our turn. It's our turn as Marga women to stand up and look after ourselves. So that's it from me. So that's a little bit of that's my passion stuff. It's really to show women that there is such a better way to be doing this, that this isn't a medical condition. This is a great time of life. So I don't seem to have any questions going on. So that's it from me. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more quieter. Maybe the sun will be shining. I don't know where I'm going to be doing this video tomorrow, but have a fantastic day. And if you have any questions during the daytime, just pop them in the feed. Oh, the workbook. If you go to the workbook, I've actually put a few simple remedies, some essential oils, an essential oil blend and things like that on the workbook today. So nothing much for you to do. Go and have a look at it and see if there's things that you can actually implement into your life that'll help you feel just a little bit better than you do right now. Okay, from my heart to yours, infinite love and gratitude. Bye for now. Bye.